Wise, formerly known as TransferWise, has become a popular platform for individuals and businesses seeking seamless international money transfers and multi-currency account management. Its transparent fee structure and user-friendly interface have attracted millions worldwide. However, a common question for both new and existing users revolves around the limitations of holding funds within their Wise accounts. As a finance expert, I'm here to break down the intricacies of Wise account holding limits in simple, easy-to-understand language. It's crucial to understand that Wise doesn't typically impose strict upper limits on the total amount of money you can hold across all your balances. Unlike some traditional banks that might have deposit insurance thresholds influencing how much you might comfortably keep in an account, Wise operates differently. Their primary focus is on facilitating transactions and providing multi-currency functionality rather than acting as a long-term savings institution. However, while there isn't a universal ceiling, several factors can influence the effective amount you can hold and manage within your Wise account. These factors are often related to regulatory requirements, security protocols, and the specific currencies you are holding. Currency-specific limits. One of the most significant aspects to consider is that holding limits can vary depending on the specific currency. Certain currencies might have regulatory restrictions in their respective jurisdictions that could indirectly impact the amount Wise can hold on behalf of its users in those currencies. For instance, some countries have regulations concerning electronic money institutions and the maximum value of digital wallets. While Wise isn't strictly a bank in the traditional sense, it operates under various regulatory frameworks globally, which can lead to these currency-specific nuances. It's always advisable to check Wise's official website or contact their support directly for the most up-to-date information regarding specific currency holding limits. These limits, if they exist, are typically put in place to comply with local laws and ensure the security of user funds. Verification and account tier. The level of verification your Wise account has undergone can also play a role in the amount you can hold and transact. Wise employs a tiered verification system to comply with anti-money laundering, AML, and counterterrorism financing, CTF, regulations. As you provide more identification and address verification documents, your account typically gains access to higher transaction limits and potentially higher holding capacities. For users with basic verification, there might be lower limits on the total amount they can hold or the volume of transactions they can process within a specific time frame. Completing the full verification process generally lifts these restrictions significantly, allowing for larger balances and transaction flows. Transaction limits versus holding limits. It's important to differentiate between holding limits and transaction limits. While there might not be a strict upper limit on the total amount you can hold, there are often daily or per transaction limits on how much you can send or receive. These transaction limits are in place for security reasons and can also be influenced by your verification level and the currencies involved. For example, you might be able to hold a substantial amount of euros in your account, but you might have a daily limit on how much you can transfer out of that euro balance. These transaction limits are usually clearly outlined in your Wise account settings or during the transaction process. Business accounts versus personal accounts. The holding and transaction limits can also differ between personal Wise accounts and Wise business accounts. Business accounts, which are designed for companies and freelancers, often have higher transaction limits and potentially different holding considerations due to the nature of business operations involving larger sums of money. If you are using Wise for business purposes, it's crucial to review the specific terms and conditions applicable to business accounts to understand any potential limitations on holding funds.